Do owls eat live animals or will they eat an animal that's already dead?
Usually owls like to eat live animals. They like to hunt down animals that are moving. The owls that we have learned to eat dead animals. You have to kind of train them or teach them that to eat dead animals when they're in captivity because they're used to looking for live animals. So for the most part, they're not going to go after animals that are already dead in the wild.
They're going to call for help. They're going to call in Ghostbusters to help us.
Ghostbusters, only we'll call them alien busters. Alien busters. Okay. Okay. I think that'd be kind of fun to create like an actual company in the world, somewhere that's in the world, called Alien Busters. Whenever there's an alien invasion, you call the Alien Busters and they come out. I think that would be a pretty cool idea. So you know what? Let's do that. So in chapter 1, we're jumping around a little bit, but chapter 1, Lucy and Jackson are walking home from school. What do they see? Now, I want you to think about this. Remember, we need to lead into our story. So what do you think they see that's going to be in line with the title of our story, Extraterrestrials of East Tawas? In chapter 1, again, Lucy and Jackson walking home from school. What do they see?
Hi, my name is Luna. What inspired you to become an author?
That is a really great question. Thank you. I could answer this question a lot of ways, but the simplest way for me to answer this question would be to say that I love books, and I've always loved books. Ever since I was a little girl growing up in Rochester, Michigan, I loved books. But it really wasn't until I had 3 of my own kids and we were reading books at home, and sometimes we go to the library and bring home stacks of books, and I would read books to my kids. And sometimes I would read these stories, and I would laugh and I would love them. I would enjoy the pictures. And then one day I kind of went, oh, I wonder if I could do this, because I was enjoying them so much. Sometimes my kids would go off and play with their toys and I'd still be sitting on the ground reading the picture books to myself. And so that was kind of my first clue that I loved picture books.
Who was the first Tuskegee Airman?
Who was the first Tuskegee Airman?
Yeah.
So actually, there wasn't just one. There was originally the cadets that came through. The very first class was 13. Of that first class, only 5 of them became actual Tuskegee Airmen. And I do not have the list in front of me, but you can certainly Google it or look it up. That first class, I can tell you that at least one of the Tuskegee Airmen was B.O. Davis Jr. And if I'm remembering correctly, and he, as I said earlier, he did not know how to fly a plane. Of those 5, 2 of them weren't able to fly when they first got here. So he learned to fly while he was here, but there were actually 5 in that first class.
Hi, my name's Alden. Hi, my name's Zandy. And I have a question. Why did you title this book Just As Good?
That is a really good question. So for me, the hardest, well, there are lots of hard things about writing books. One of the hard things is what to call it. You know, what should you name your book? And so the 2 titles I was working with on this book one was Jackie's Shadow, right? Because Larry Doby was kind of in Jackie Robinson's shadow. The other one I was thinking was Second to None, or Second Best, or something, because Doby was always second to Robinson when people talk about baseball history. But when the book sort of changed to be the book that you guys saw, this skinny little book, focused on just one moment, it seemed to me that the moment that the important message of the book was, Larry Doby showed that Black players were just as good as white players. I mean, Robinson did that too, but so did Larry Doby. And so that became the title. It seemed to make sense to say it's just as good. He's just as good as any other player.